People talk about, in this town at least, since I've lived here, that Xena was like everybody's guilty pleasure. Like, people make fun of it.
Stolen from me. That's what I
said. Is that what you said? Okay.
That's what I said. Everybody.
So when people see that on your resume, do you get any kind of grief, good or bad?
Both.
Do you?
I get both all the time.
Do you really?
But it's the funniest thing to me because this is the way I mean, Xena was like the most watched show in the world at the time. Mm-hmm. And so somebody was watching, you know?
Absolutely. It was the number one syndicated show for years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that to me is, like, at first, no one will admit that. No one wants, I shouldn't say no one, but the vast majority of the population, that's not something they, will just readily admit to until they find out you're a part of it. Then they can't tell you enough about how they watched you every day after school, or when I was in college, every day, it goes on and on and on. And there were so many people that connected to this show, and, once they have a forum to express that, once they know it's okay to talk about, then they will just talk my ear off about how much the show meant to them and the ways that it, just affected them. And it's just an amazing thing. I mean, business-wise or, industry-wise, it's a little bit different. You do have casting directors that will admit that they love the show and never missed an episode or, something like that. You also have a lot of people who, if they missed the show, if they kind of missed the bandwagon, they don't get it.
Right.
And there's really no way to explain it because, well, first of all, it's not something you can put in a nutshell, but beyond that, I mean, it's the way, I don't know if anybody else would agree with me on this, but the way I always describe the show is that one of the things I love the most about it is that it had a very healthy sense of humor about itself. So it was constantly, making fun of itself or, just sort of turning things on its head just because it could, Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really hard thing for people to understand, that within your show there were musical episodes and that, well, there was comedy and drama and action and flashbacks and flash forwards and, just like the parameters were, it wasn't just a box. It was, so much bigger than that. So I think a lot of people, if they missed it, don't quite know what to do with it. But the funny thing is, now that it's airing on new networks, it's hitting this whole new generation of people. And out of the blue, you're getting a whole new generation of people that missed it the first time around, but that are now avid fans. And I find that absolutely the coolest thing, just, that it can get this whole second life.
And in foreign countries. I mean, you must get, email from all over the world for people who are just now seeing it.
Yeah, wow. It's the craziest thing because, you're like, where have you been? But truly, they're like, I saw your first episode last week in Iceland or something. You're like, well, awesome. But it is cool. And I love it because it's one of those shows that translates so easily to almost any culture. I mean, it's, it's good versus evil. It's
right.
Storylines that are kind of universal. And it's just amazing how many people can connect with that. It's so cool.
Renee tells a story, I think, about going to Italy and seeing it and seeing her dub, hearing her dub. Have you heard anything like that for your own? Have you heard any of your foreign dubs?
Italian. I think, what have I heard? I think French is the only one that I've heard. Which, and I have to say it wasn't one of my episodes, so I didn't see me in French,
right.
But I did see the show in French, which I don't know what they're saying because I speak about this much French. But
you're kind of amazing, though.
But it was nonetheless totally amusing, yeah.
Cool. All right, so that's all I had. You've been working on a new project that you're going to do the title song for. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I worked on a film last year called Reflections. It's directed by Barry Caldwell. It's a great little feature. I shouldn't say feature. It's a great little film. It's about 20 minutes long, and they're hoping, they're putting it into festivals as a short, and they're also planning to make it feature length. Yes, I'm singing the title theme song, and we're also doing a video that goes along with that. It will be available for DVD sales soon after it's done a bit of competition in film festivals. It has an amazing cast. It has Jim Beaver from Deadwood. It has Zoe Bell from Everything Right Now, but of course Xena fans know her as Lucy's double.
Right.
She did our stunt coordinating and also has a cameo appearance. Louis Lombardi from The Sopranos and from 24. James Morrison from 24.
Wow.
We just have a really great cast, and it's an interesting little movie. It's another one of those plots that's kind of hard to put into, just one line, but the way I always describe it is to say, I play a girl who, the moment she meets someone, she knows the worst thing they've ever done or will ever do. And that is interesting.
Wow, that is really interesting.
Yeah, it affects her because she just knows the worst about everyone all the time, and everybody has something ugly to hide.
Wow.
Or certainly that's how it seems in this movie. So it's great. It was a really, really intense experience last year when we filmed it. And yeah, in the next coming week, I'll be singing the theme song, and it should be available before too long. They just have to finish all the post-production, which should be done this month. And yeah, I have my website, I've got the MySpace thing, so I will send out any updates that I have about it, because it's a great little feature for everybody to check out.
Great. Cool. Very cool. Do you have anything else you want to say to the fans?
Well, just thank you. Yeah, I probably have other announcements, but I'll save them for a different forum. I'll just use this to say thank you. It's been an amazing experience, and I'm so lucky that everybody is still interested and would like to hear a conversation with me on a couch. So I hope everybody enjoyed.